I'm Scott Crane, and I'm the pastor of First Presbyterian Church in Dimondale. It's just on the southwest corner of Lansing. Small village, goes back into the 1800s. The church was started in 1875. And I'm just really excited about our community feel and how people still want to be connected to one another and help one another. We've been the community church in many ways over history, but when I came there, and even today, we're very involved in the food ministry and working through the Lansing Food Bank as well as other food banks to help people with food. We collaborate with the United Methodist Church that does personal needs. And I'm excited that we still work together in bigger ways and not divided. And we're kind of all in it together, maybe not in large ways, but I think significant ways. Now, where we are, we're just about 15 minutes out of downtown Lansing. So the Lansing Food Bank is like a cooperative that supplies food to all these different food banks. And so we are a part of that collaboration. We can go out and get food there, buy it at a cheaper rate, as well as get some things that are perishables they need to keep moving through for our food pantry. As well, there are probably 3 or 4 different food drives a year that come through our church. But what's fascinating me as a pastor is it's one of these things that I didn't start. There was passion there. It was already going. It belonged not only to the congregation, but it belonged to the community. So even though we house it, we do all the logistics and the committee work, there are a couple of people who belong to other churches or don't go to church who come in and help pack boxes and prepare them for families or older individuals or whoever's coming in and prepare that. There are others that come in to help us when we know get a big order. We just got 2,000 pounds this week on Monday, and so they had to have people to help go pick it up and bring it into pickup trucks and sort it all out and try to rotate the stock and all that. So it's not just church members, it's people in the community. And so that's the one thing I try to celebrate is this is not the church's ministry, this is the community's ministry, and that all our ministries hopefully would be like this food pantry ministry. Food comes in, it goes through our church and get processed, but anything that's personal needs goes to the United Methodist Church and they process that. So if someone had called me and said, I want to come to the pantry, we do it twice a month, then I ask them, do you want just food or do you want food and personal needs? Almost always they want both because it helps out the budget, right? And so I have a distribution list, as do a couple others, and it goes to both people in the Presbytery Church and the Methodist Church, and then they know who's coming in, and we can work with them together. When a person calls in, then either the secretary or myself, or at the Methodist Church, will take the information. It goes out to the people that are kind of the heads of it. I have 2 women at my church that take care of everything behind the scenes and order the food and prepare things. And then under them works volunteers. So if they need someone to go help them pick up an order, they call and arrange that. If they need 10 people are going to come in to pick up food on Friday, then they call volunteers to pack boxes to get them prepared for those people. And at the same time, the Methodists then do what they need to do for the personal needs. And usually we know all the different individualities and personalities and what their needs are, and we work back and forth together. So let's say a woman can't drive all the way to their church because it's farther, then they'll bring her personal needs to us the day ahead of time, and we can give her both her food and her personal needs at the same time in the same place. So by having that coordination together, we're not being redundant in our efforts. Nobody's going to say we don't want people that are hungry not to be fed. Everybody wants to be a part of that. And so I guess people really look to us, not just as being the food pantry, but the fact that there is a certain sense of community that we guide within the village. Well, I jokingly tell people that I've only lived there 6 years, but I can tell you what car people drive now. I can tell you whose dog is escaped and where they need to go. Because again, some people live in a bigger area, bigger church, and they may not even know the person that sits in the pew behind them. And so it brings some very difficult things sometimes when you deal with conflict and emotional stuff, but there's also a great reward. And I think that the small church has something to offer You know, people say we need to think beyond being Presbyterian or Methodist. We need to think kingdom thinking. And I think the relationships, especially between those, between the churches that have had the passion for this over the years, you know, have become good friends. And it's almost like they're fellow congregational members that don't have quite the divide. So that may play out in things that happen in the community because they're already working together, they know each other, and it makes them already have that trust that allows things to be built up. I think it also allows people in our community to trust us because we're not playing off one against each other, you know, like we're the bigger church or they're farther away and we're closer in. We're all aiming for the same results. And so it shows more of a unified effort within the village